This is Joy Foote. Welcome to Pine Mountain, then and now. Today I want to talk about the amazing building that's an absolute institution in our town. If you live in Pine Mountain or have visited here, my guess is that you have been in this building many, many times. Most locals refer to it as Kimbrough's because the building was owned by the Kimbrough family for more than 100 years. In fact, the building has only changed ownership 3 times in its 132-year history, and there is even more interesting history to share, so let's get started. If you listen to my podcast about the murder of T.T. Murrah, then you'll remember that T.T. Murrah and his brother Geo Murrah had the building built in 1892. Most of the actual construction is believed to have been done by George King, the son of Horace King. Horace King was a former slave who became quite famous as a stonemason and particularly as a bridge builder. George King was an amazing craftsman in his own right and used local stone, probably from Pine Mountain, to build the Murrah Brothers store. He finished the front facade in brick, and I find it so interesting that the way you access the upstairs was either with a hand-operated elevator or the outside stairs. I encourage you, the next time you are walking downtown and you cross Cotton Alley, look more closely at the side of the building. It's amazing. And I love the picture featured in the local paper on the day Murrah Brothers opened. Men, horses, and carriages were lined up on the street right in front of the store. And the sign above says, "Furniture upstairs." And while they sold furniture, let me share other items you could buy in the store. You have the standards: liquor and wine, tobacco of many sorts, canned and dried goods, boots and shoes, and groceries. And then you have some bigger or more unusual items like coffins, burial robes, buggies and wagons, and the list goes on and on. And oh, it also had a pool hall. I went by the Chipley Historical Center and looked through some ledgers from Murrah Brothers, and I found some excellent prices. A dozen eggs, 15 cents. 1 pound of tobacco, 45 cents. 4 pounds of coffee, $1. 1 pig, $2. 1 coffin box, $12.50. The Murrah Brothers owned the building from 1892 to 1908. It just so happened that the store transitioned to the Kimbrough family just prior to a major tornado that hit the town. It was a big deal, and most locals refer to it as the Cyclone of '08. There was so much damage in the town. Houses and businesses were completely destroyed. But as expected with tornadoes, one house could have been completely spared, while the house next door looked like an explosion had taken it down. And to this day, there's a story the Kimbrough family likes to tell about the tornado and a mule on the roof of the building. Most of the warehouses and stables were gone the morning after the storm, but one remaining shed had a live weather vane, and the mule was said to have been unscathed, but a bit shaken. As I mentioned, Kimbrough's was open for over 100 years. It survived the World Wars, the Great Depression, and the largest influenza epidemic in history. Most of us remember going into the store, and it was like stepping back in time. Back in the day, they had a livery stable and sold mules, wagons, and surreys. But even into the 2000s, the store looked much like it did 100 years ago. The nails were in those metal square bins, and of course, you could still buy feed and deer corn. In 2010, Kimbrough's closed and the store transitioned to Cat's Meow. It's a charming gift shop that is very popular with locals and visitors alike. Kara, the owner of Cat's Meow, is an exceptional custom framer, and the store also sells handcrafted items and art. Whenever you go into the store, you should see Arnold, the store cat, dozing in the window or hanging out with the customers. And it's a fun fact, the building is officially named in honor of its former resident cat, Brutus. I just love how the Kimbroughs and Kara have a great respect for the building's history. The building still has the original wood floors and the hand-cranked elevator. And what's especially cool is that the cash register from Kimbroughs is still there. Such a great piece of history. And one more fun fact. Cat's Meow recently painted the brick facade front, and the sign at the top of the building says, Cat's Meow at Kimbroughs. That just makes me smile. The Community Thanksgiving Dinner is tomorrow, November 28th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the gym behind the Public Safety Center. Everyone is invited to attend, and feel free to bring a side dish or dessert. Happy Thanksgiving! Save the date! The Pine Mountain Christmas Parade and Festival is on Saturday, December 7th, beginning at 11 a.m. After the parade, there'll be a chili cook-off and a cornbread challenge. Sounds delicious? You won't want to miss it. I'll have more details in next week's episode. This episode was brought to you by Mother's Friend, making childbirth easy. Mother's Friend is a scientifically prepared liniment, every ingredient of recognized value, and in constant use by the medical profession. It shortens labor, lessens pain, and diminishes danger to life of mother and child. Will do all that is claimed for and more. Sent by Express, and it's $1.50 per bottle. This hilarious ad was featured in the Hamilton Journal on August 26, 1892. I thought it would be fun to include an ad in today's episode from the same year that the Cat's Meow building was built. There are so many more of these cure ads that next week I'll be sharing more of them in the show. Special thanks goes out to the Chipley Historical Center for fact-checking this episode. The beautiful art and music for the show was created by Sillybug Studios. My next episode is on Wednesday, December 4th. Hope to see you around town.